My name is Giles, and I'm a meataholic. It has been 3 years and 9 months since my last cow. Let me tell you the story of how I became a vegan, and I'll tell you where I am with it now. We were recently on a cruise. I won't tell you the name of the company, but the Azura's assistant director came into the main dining room with a microphone and started to announce the number of bottles of wine that had been consumed, the number of chickens that had been eaten, the number of eggs that had been eaten, all sorts of statistics on the consumption. Too much whooping and hollering from the rest of the passengers. And then, personally, I found this celebration of overt consumerism a little tasteless. But then I thought, Giles, stop. That is sanctimonious and hypocritical of you. So let me take you back to Christmas 2019, simpler time. Pre-COVID, before masks, before lockdown, before anyone had even heard of Joe Wicks. We were on a 2-week Caribbean cruise. We'd visited Barbados, Bequia, Guadeloupe, St Kitts, Tortola, Dominica, St Lucia. It was lovely. Not only that, it was all-inclusive, which meant that you could eat and drink as much as you liked. So I did. Generally the day would start with a large breakfast, then we'd go to a beach and might have a couple of beers there, maybe a snack. After that, head back to the ship, hit the buffet, just to top up the levels, maybe go for a quick drink then go for something to eat, 3-course meal in the dining room, maybe a port and bottle of wine, something like that with the meal. Then we'd go on for beer, cocktails, maybe a couple of brandies in the evening. Of course, it would be rude not to visit the midnight buffet, just because they'd gone to that much effort. So the next day, you'd get up and you'd do it all again. Rinse and repeat for 2 weeks. So at the end of that, I felt bloated and stodgy, and it wasn't funny. My energy levels had dropped, and I decided that I needed to detox to give my body some time to recover. So I went drastic. I decided to become fully vegan for a month, and I would see how I felt at the end of that. The most difficult part of it was coming out to my friends and family as vegan. It's just a phase, they said. One of my friends kept buying me milk and cheese when we went out anywhere. How dairy. But going vegan was a big thing for me. I'd been an excessive consumer of meat for over 50 years, so it was a big culture change. I would always go for a greasy spoon breakfast when I was at work. If I went out for a meal, very often I'd go for the mixed grill. But just before we'd been away, I'd watched a documentary called The Game Changers about the benefits of a plant-based diet. So I think that was in the back of my mind when I came back. So if you haven't seen that film, it is well worth watching. But my reasons for stopping meat consumption were basically twofold. Firstly, and the main reason, was for my health. Secondly, for environmental concerns. It's just more efficient and environmentally friendly to eat the plants that we grow, rather than grow the plants, feed the plants to animals, and then consume the animals, because there is a massive calorie loss, and it also has an effect on water. So it's a no-brainer to me, but I digress. So in January 2020, I became vegan for a month. I fully expected to lose a bit of weight, maybe have reduced energy levels. Now, Lisa and my daughter were already vegetarian, and my son's a meat eater, so very often that meant cooking 3 different meals. So it was a little bit of a faff, but we're good cooks, so we managed it. And at the end of that month, I had lost a bit of weight, but I also felt a lot healthier. My energy levels hadn't dropped. In fact, they perked up. I never felt sluggish or lethargic the way I would have after eating a greasy, meaty meal. So at the end of that month, I decided not to go back to eating meat, which had been the original plan, because I hadn't missed it anywhere near as much as I thought I would. But there were some things that I did miss. Firstly, cheese. The substitute cheeses I've never found particularly good, although I have recently found a substitute blue cheese, which was a bit of a revelation. Eggs. I don't think you can underestimate the convenience of an egg. And milk in tea. I've never found a good substitute milk for milk in tea. So then I became vegetarian, and that made mealtimes a lot more easy for cooking. We do spend a little bit of money on organic milk and organic eggs, but I think that's a small price to pay for the control over what goes into your body. My dad died at 63 of stomach cancer, which is a concern for me. If my genetic blueprint is going to go along the same trajectory, I need to take some positive action to change its direction. So that's probably been one of the main contributors for me staying on the straight and narrow. My only vice is that I do eat fish occasionally, so I am now pescatarian, but I do have no desire to go back to eating meat. The reasons? It's cheaper, it's healthier, it's better for the environment, and it may just help me live longer and travel a bit more. If I said it was for ethical reasons, I'd be lying, because for 50 years I ate meat, and I wasn't really that concerned that animals were slaughtered for my consumption, so I can't really take the moral high ground on that. So I'm not suggesting that you become vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian, or whatever. I don't care. I don't care what you eat. This is all about me. I'm not militant in that way. Come on guys, give peas a chance. A lot of people say to me, but surely you miss bacon? And honestly, I can say that I don't. I can rustle up, and this might sound strange to you, a mean carrot bacon sandwich using olive oil and smoked paprika. If you put brown sauce on it and eat it as a sandwich, it tastes great. So also a question that gets asked quite often is, where do you get your protein from? It's very, very simple. Morrison's, Tesco, Waitrose, wherever I fancy going shopping. I think the real danger for me in slipping off the wagon would be after a night out and having too many beers and then walking past a kebab shop. I used to love a greasy doner to soak up the booze, so that would be my Achilles heel. We've been on a few cruises since then as pescatarians, and we've had no problems finding good options to eat on board. Lisa still tries to avoid ordering any fish as much as possible, and we'll always go for the veggie or vegan options. But as more and more people follow vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian diets, the cruise companies are having to step up their game and provide more options on their menu. The days full of plates of just grey risotto or pasta in tomato sauce are gone. And there's something on the menu that vegetarians aren't used to, and that is choice. It's great. You can go and see, a number of different options that you can have. It's not just the one option these days. We're due to go on an all-inclusive river cruise soon, and due to the smaller number of passengers, the menu will also be smaller, so there will be less choice. So it'll be interesting to see how we get on with that, and don't worry, we will let you know. And although I won't eat meat, I've no desire to eat or drink particularly sensibly, because it's all-inclusive. Why wouldn't you? I think if I was being sensible, I'd find it really annoying to see someone stuffing their face over there and drinking everything, because I'd think, I'm paying for that. Maybe all-inclusive cruises aren't a particularly good idea for me. Anyway, when we get back, I might need to detox again, and I might go fully vegan permanently. I've also been trying alcohol-free beer recently, and I can fully recommend Guinness Zero and Erdinger Frey, which are the best ones that I've found. So you never know, I might even give up on the alcohol, and even if it doesn't let me live any longer, it'll feel like I have. If cruising has changed your diet in any way, or if you are vegan or vegetarian, how have you found the food on cruises? Which is the best cruise company for you? Let me know in the comments below. But I don't want any arguments there between vegetarians and vegans. I'm not prepared for that sort of confrontation. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for other travelling light videos. Until next time, goodbye and safe travels. Oh, and please watch our last video here. You might find it interesting.